In many parts of the world, ladies' night usually refers to drink deals at a bar. But in Saudi Arabia, it can mean something very different. The country has developed women-only leisure parks as part of its broader social and entertainment expansion. One of the earliest examples was Al-Hakair Time Al-Azizia in Al-Hukobar, a theme park opened by Al-Hakair Entertainment that featured attractions like a Sky Zone trampoline area and a snow forest with skiing and snowball play activities, and was managed entirely by women and open only to females at the time of its launch in 2018. More recently, Lupagoon Water Park in Dana Bay, Al-Hukobar has been promoted as a women-only water park offering slides, wave pools, family play areas, food and shopping, and other attractions in a private setting, designed to respect cultural expectations around gender and recreation. Boys below a certain age may accompany their mothers or female guardians. During women-only nights, extra steps are taken to ensure comfort and privacy, including stronger security, female staff replacing male workers, and closer monitoring of the area. Some parks even add live entertainment by inviting female DJs or performers, which would have been hard to imagine just 10 years ago. To outsiders, these events may appear limiting, but within Saudi society, they represent an important cultural change. When you live in one of the hottest countries in the world, finding ways to escape the heat becomes part of everyday life. In Saudi Arabia, where summer temperatures can climb to around 48 degrees Celsius, that escape sometimes comes in the form of snow. In Riyadh, visitors can experience winter indoors at Snow City. While on a much larger scale, the country is planning Trojena, an ambitious mountain resort in the Neom region that aims to bring alpine-style activities to the desert. Snow City is located inside Al Othaim Mall in Riyadh and is fully climate-controlled to maintain freezing conditions. Inside, visitors can enjoy activities such as sledding, snow play, ice slides, and basic skiing in temperatures below zero. To make the experience comfortable, the venue provides heavy jackets and boots before entry. On the horizon is Trojena, a futuristic ski destination still under construction, designed to offer outdoor skiing using artificial snow and high-altitude terrain. The project includes plans for luxury hotels, wellness centers, ski villages, and scenic lakes, all set in a mountainous desert landscape. Trojena was originally announced as the host location for the 2029 Asian Winter Games, though timelines and event plans have faced uncertainty as the project develops. Together, Snow City and Trojena reflect Saudi Arabia's push to redefine entertainment and tourism in extreme climates. Camel racing is one of the most deeply rooted competitive sports in Saudi Arabia, with origins tied to Bedouin life across the Arabian Peninsula. Over time, it has grown into a major modern industry, and one of its most striking features today is the use of robot jockeys. These robot jockeys are operated by owners and trainers who drive alongside the track in vehicles, guiding the camels through wireless controls and audio cues. Racing camels are capable of reaching speeds of up to about 65 kilometers per hour, making competitions fast-paced and highly competitive. Races often carry large cash prizes and significant prestige, and successful camels can be worth enormous sums and receive meticulous care, similar to that given to elite athletes. The racing season peaks during the cooler winter months, highlighted by major events such as the King Abdulaziz Camel Festival, which attracts participants from across the Gulf region and beyond. Through the combination of ancient tradition and modern robotics, camel racing in Saudi Arabia stands as a vivid example of how heritage sports have adapted to contemporary ethical standards and technology. In Saudi Arabia, a powerful cultural scene unfolds when rows of men dressed in white robes stand shoulder to shoulder, lifting swords as they chant poetry and move in rhythm to deep, resonant drums. This performance is known as Ardah, a traditional dance with roots that stretch back centuries to pre-battle rituals practiced by tribes in the Arabian Peninsula. Once used to display strength and unity before combat, Ardah has evolved into a formal cultural expression that symbolizes honor, courage, and collective identity. The dancers move in synchronized lines, raising their swords in time with the drums while reciting poetic verses that reflect heritage, loyalty, and shared values. Today, Ardah is performed at major festivals and official occasions, including national celebrations and state events, such as the Janadriya Festival. It is sometimes joined by Saudi leaders as a public expression of unity and pride, highlighting its continued importance in modern society. In 2015, this tradition, known specifically as Al-Ardah al-Najdiyah, was recognized by UNESCO as an element of the world's intangible cultural heritage, confirming its role as more than a performance and marking it as a living symbol of Saudi history, unity, and national pride. This country has developed strong football programs for athletes with disabilities, although the most clearly documented success has come from teams for players with intellectual disabilities, rather than amputee football specifically. These teams were formed to ensure that physical or mental challenges did not prevent athletes from competing at a high level, and they have gone on to represent the country in major international tournaments. Saudi teams for athletes with intellectual impairments have competed in global and regional championships organized by international sports bodies and have achieved remarkable results, including multiple world titles at the INAS World Football Championships. Beyond competition, these teams play an important social role by promoting inclusion, challenging stereotypes, and inspiring young people with disabilities to pursue sports and public life with confidence. Their achievements are supported by Saudi sports authorities and national institutions, which view disability sports as part of broader efforts to encourage participation, visibility, and equal opportunity within society. Here, falcons are treated with a level of care and respect that often surprises outsiders, including the ability to travel inside airplane cabins with their owners. Falconry is a deeply rooted cultural tradition and a strong symbol of heritage and prestige, which explains why these birds may appear on commercial flights rather than in cargo holds. Airlines such as Qatar Airways, Saudia, and Emirates allow falcons to fly in the cabin under strict conditions, usually in economy class, with limits on the number of birds per passenger or per flight. The falcons must be hooded, properly secured, and accompanied by official documentation, and some are issued individual boarding passes. Falcons also travel with official passports that include microchip identification, ownership information, and vaccination records, in line with international wildlife regulations, such as CITES. While some falcons can be extremely valuable, prices vary widely depending on breed, pedigree, and training. Falconry remains a major cultural and competitive activity in Saudi Arabia, supported by organizations such as the Saudi Falcons Club, which promotes conservation, regulated breeding, and traditional practices. Although Saudi Arabia has advanced veterinary facilities for falcons, the world's largest falcon hospital is generally located in the United Arab Emirates. The Mutaween, Committee for the Promotion of Virtue and the Prevention of Vice, in Saudi Arabia, is a historically significant religious police force tasked with promoting conservative Islamic behavior and preventing actions judged to conflict with official interpretations of Sharia, including dress standards, gender segregation, and prayer observance. The committee became formalized in the mid-1970s, and at one point numbered around 3,500 to 4,000 officers, with many volunteers and support staff, reporting to a high government authority. Their powers were once extensive, including detaining or confronting suspected violators, but recent reforms have significantly limited those powers, requiring cooperation with regular police and shifting their role more toward guidance. The institution is rooted in Saudi religious culture, influenced by Wahhabi interpretations of Islam, and while similar morality enforcement bodies exist in other Muslim-majority countries, they are organizationally and ideologically distinct from the Saudi model. Saudi Arabia faces a serious water scarcity challenge, largely because it is a desert country with very limited natural freshwater supplies. This scarcity makes water provision costly, especially when compared with the inexpensive fossil fuels the country produces. Much of Saudi Arabia's water comes from two sources: groundwater and seawater desalination. Groundwater has historically been the main source for drinking and irrigation, but it is being depleted rapidly. Desalination of seawater supplies most urban needs, but the process is energy-intensive and expensive, with much of that energy still coming from oil and gas. Per-person water availability in Saudi Arabia is extremely low, far below the global average, which contributes to high demand and rising use. The agricultural sector consumes the largest share of water in the country, even though its contribution to the economy is relatively small. As the population grows and urbanization expands, water demand continues to increase. In response, the Saudi government has launched initiatives such as the Qatra program, aimed at improving water conservation and reducing per capita consumption by 2030 through public awareness, efficiency improvements, and reforms to how water is priced and subsidized. These efforts reflect the country's broader strategy to address its long-term water sustainability challenges. For many years, Valentine's Day was discouraged in Saudi Arabia and was effectively treated as an unofficial ban rather than a formal law. Religious authorities and conservative scholars argued that the holiday had non-Islamic origins and promoted behaviors such as dating outside of marriage, which conflicted with local social norms. As a result, the religious police, known as the Committee for the Promotion of Virtue and the Prevention of Vice, historically monitored shops around mid-February and warned retailers against selling red roses, heart-shaped gifts, or Valentine-themed items. During that period, some shop owners sold items discreetly, hid red merchandise, or avoided public displays altogether. Since the mid-2010s, the authority of the religious police has been significantly reduced, and attitudes toward the holiday have shifted. Today, many flower shops and stores in major Saudi cities openly sell Valentine's Day gifts, and couples, both Saudi and foreign, celebrate more visibly than in the past. While some people still prefer to keep celebrations private out of personal or cultural choice, Valentine's Day is no longer strictly suppressed and has become increasingly normalized in Saudi society. Gambling is strictly forbidden in Saudi Arabia and is considered a serious religious and legal offense under Islamic law. There are no casinos, lotteries, or legal forms of sports betting, and anyone caught gambling can face penalties such as fines or imprisonment, depending on the circumstances. Despite this ban, some individuals still attempt to gamble by accessing foreign online gambling websites, often using VPNs to bypass internet restrictions. Even though both gambling and unauthorized VPN use are illegal and carry real risks, horse racing, however, is permitted as a sport, and certain events include prize-based prediction activities that are carefully designed to avoid monetary betting and therefore do not qualify as gambling. In addition, some Saudis choose to travel abroad to countries such as Lebanon, Egypt, or Morocco, where casinos operate legally, to gamble openly. While this offers an outlet, it also involves high cost and effort. Overall, gambling in Saudi Arabia remains illegal, socially discouraged, and risky, pushing those who seek it either underground or beyond the country's borders. In Saudi Arabia, weddings have traditionally been organized with separate celebrations for men and women, reflecting long-standing cultural and religious norms around gender segregation. Rather than a single mixed gathering, guests are usually divided into different areas or halls, with women celebrating together and men hosting their own reception. The women's section is often lavishly decorated with lights, flowers, and elegant seating, creating a glamorous setting where guests can socialize freely. Brides typically wear elaborate wedding gowns, sometimes changing outfits during the evening, while head coverings such as the hijab or abaya may be worn depending on personal preference and family tradition. At the same time, the men's celebration focuses on socializing and hospitality, with the groom dressed in traditional attire such as a thobe, often paired with a ceremonial bisht and a head covering like a shamag or gutra. Guests are served classic Saudi dishes, including lamb and rice, along with dates and Arabic coffee. In many weddings, the groom will briefly visit the women's section, sometimes accompanied by close relatives, for a formal moment that may include greetings, photographs, or a cake-cutting ceremony. While these customs remain common, practices vary widely by region and family, and modern Saudi weddings, especially in larger cities, may blend tradition with more contemporary elements. Would you prefer a wedding with separate celebrations for men and women like this, or a single mixed ceremony? Let's discuss in the comments section, and be sure to explore even more fascinating things located in the top right corner. For decades, Saudi Arabia was the only country where women were prohibited from driving, a policy based not on written law but on official practice, shaped by conservative religious interpretations and government directives. Ruled by the Al Saud family since 1932, the kingdom's social order long imposed strict limits on women. Those who drove before the ban ended risked detention, fines, or being forced to sign pledges not to repeat the act. Despite this, women organized petitions, protests, and online campaigns such as Women to Drive, drawing global attention. Some activists were arrested or accused of threatening national security, particularly before reform. In September 2017, King Salman announced women would be allowed to drive starting in June 2018, as part of broader changes promoted by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Shortly before the ban ended, several prominent activists were detained, prompting international criticism. When women legally began driving on June 24, 2018, it marked a historic shift, celebrated by many but met with mixed reactions within Saudi society. Saudi Arabia's National Day is a major annual celebration held every September 23 to mark the unification of the kingdom in 1932 by King Abdulaziz ibn Saud, when the previously separate regions were formally declared the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. On this day, cities across the country, from Riyadh and Jeddah to Dammam and beyond, come alive with festivities that showcase national pride, heritage, and cultural identity. The celebrations typically include fireworks displays and light shows, public concerts, parades, and traditional performances such as folk music, Ardah sword dancing, and community cultural events, all reflecting a blend of Saudi Arabia's history and contemporary spirit. Streets, buildings, and public spaces are decorated in the national colors green and white, and the Saudi flag is prominently displayed as a symbol of unity and pride. While the official National Day holiday itself is on September 23rd, many festivities and public celebrations stretch across several days, with family gatherings, festivals, exhibitions, and special events adding to the festive atmosphere. In recent years, the occasion has expanded to include aerial air shows, cultural shows, themed citywide lighting, and official entertainment programs, often tied to broader themes of heritage, progress, and national identity, making it one of the kingdom's most vibrant celebrations. Only in Saudi Arabia can a license plate be worth more than the car it is on. The government holds official online auctions for distinctive vehicle license plates through the government's Abshir electronic platform, allowing citizens and residents to bid for plates with rare or sought-after number and letter combinations, such as simple digits or unique sequences, which many see as symbols of prestige and personal style. These auctions are part of the kingdom's broader digital transformation efforts to make government services more accessible and transparent, enabling participants to bid from anywhere in the country without visiting traffic offices, and include steps such as logging into Abshir, selecting the traffic services section, and placing bids within a set period. Deposits are typically required and may be refundable if a participant does not win. The initiative has attracted significant interest, with enthusiastic participation from individuals who value distinctive plates for their rarity and individuality, and some plates have fetched high prices in previous auctions. Reports show individual plates selling for several $1 million, reflecting both the competitive nature of the bidding and the cultural appeal of exclusive number plates in the Saudi market. The Line is an ambitious Saudi megacity project within the NEOM development, unveiled in 2021 by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and tied to the country's Vision 2030 economic diversification strategy. It was originally envisioned as a 170-kilometer-long, 500-meter-high, and 200-meter-wide linear city, powered entirely by renewable energy, with no cars or traditional roads, aiming to accommodate up to 9 million residents with essential services within a 5-minute walk and a 20-minute end-to-end transit system. Early plans featured a mirrored facade to integrate with the environment and reduce heat, and the project generated global interest as a radical urban concept. While construction began with initial groundwork and infrastructure preparations, recent reports indicate the project has faced delays, cost pressures, and potential scalebacks, and its full original vision may be significantly reduced. The development has also drawn controversy over local displacement and environmental concerns. In Mecca, the Abraj al-Bayt clock tower rises high above the city with the largest clock face in the world and is counted among the tallest buildings on the planet, reaching a height of 601 meters. This massive structure is part of a huge development created to serve and host the millions of pilgrims who visit the holy city each year. The clock face itself measures 43 meters across and is comparable in size to the wingspan of a large passenger airplane, and it can be seen from as far as 25 kilometers away thanks to its powerful lighting. Inside the tower are a luxury hotel, an enormous shopping mall, residential apartments, and the Islamic Museum. Sitting above the clock is a giant golden crescent that weighs about 35 tons and is lit by 21,000 LED lights. Despite its grandeur, the tower has also drawn criticism. It was built on the former site of the Ajad fortress from the 17th century, leading to strong reactions over the destruction of an important piece of Islamic history. Still, the Abraj al-Bayt complex reflects what Saudi Arabia aims to show the world, combining religious importance, economic strength, and bold ambition in one enormous landmark overlooking Islam's holiest place. Saudi Arabia is known for a strong supercar culture, especially in cities like Riyadh and Jeddah, where high-end vehicles such as Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bentleys and Bugattis are regularly seen at car shows, luxury dealerships, and enthusiast meetups. Some extremely wealthy individuals in the kingdom have gone a step further by customizing their cars with eye-catching finishes, including gold-colored or chrome wraps, a trend that has been documented both locally and abroad, particularly during the summer supercar season, in cities like London, where Middle Eastern supercars draw global attention. These vehicles often feature bespoke interiors with premium materials and handcrafted details reflecting personal taste rather than factory standards. The overall fascination with exotic cars has helped cement Riyadh and Jeddah's reputations as regional hubs of luxury automotive culture, driven by wealth, exclusivity, and social prestige. Bedouin tents, known locally as Bait al-Shar, or House of Hair, are traditional shelters of the Arabian Peninsula, especially in Saudi Arabia's desert regions, woven from goat hair and sheep wool to provide protection against heat, cold, wind, rain, and sandstorms, and serving as symbols of heritage and hospitality. These tents were historically central to nomadic life and social gatherings, embodying traditions of generosity and community, and the craft of making them is passed down through generations. In modern Saudi culture, traditional tents are still used during winter and for family and social occasions, and there has also been a rise in luxury desert camps, inspired by Bedouin designs, that offer comfortable and modern amenities, though these commercial experiences are different from the authentic Bait al-Shar structures. Guests in both traditional and inspired settings may enjoy Arabic coffee and incense as part of the hospitality experience rooted in Bedouin tradition. The Kaaba is a cube-shaped structure at the center of the Grand Mosque, Masjid al-Haram in Mecca, and it is the most sacred site in Islam, toward which all Muslims around the world direct their prayers. According to Islamic tradition, it was originally built by the Prophet Ibrahim and his son Ismail as a house of monotheistic worship. The Kaaba is covered with a black silk cloth called the kiswa, embroidered with gold-colored Quranic verses, which is replaced annually. Every year, millions of pilgrims travel to Mecca for the Hajj and Umrah pilgrimages, during which they perform tawaf, walking 7 times counterclockwise around the Kaaba in a ritual of unity and devotion. In one corner of the Kaaba is the Black Stone, a revered relic set in a silver frame that many pilgrims try to touch or kiss, following tradition. Non-Muslims are not permitted to enter Mecca or the mosque, and for many Muslims the Kaaba represents the spiritual heart of their faith and the ultimate pilgrimage destination. Outside Riyadh lie the red sand dunes, a striking desert landscape known for its iron-rich, reddish sand that appears especially vivid at sunrise and sunset, creating an appealing natural scene not far from the city. Located about 30 to 60 minutes northeast of Riyadh, these dunes have become a popular destination for locals and tourists who enjoy activities such as sandboarding, 4x4 dune bashing, quad biking, and camel rides, with many people taking day trips or camping under the open sky, especially during the cooler months of winter. The constantly shifting dunes shaped by wind offer a dynamic environment for outdoor adventure and photography, and the area is a well-loved natural escape from the city, though amenities like food and refreshments are usually part of organized tours or picnic outings rather than permanent desert stalls. Saudi Arabia is not one simple story. It's a place where centuries-old rituals, bold ambition, strict rules, and unexpected freedoms all coexist at the same time. And whether these changes are viewed as progress, contradiction, or cultural balancing acts, it's a society in motion, reshaping itself in ways that continue to surprise the world. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming journeys. We hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed creating it. See you in the next video.